All right. It says we are live, so we continue our broadcast. Sorry for the delay and the hiatus. Meant to actually do this recently, but the internet wouldn't connect. Finally, we have a good enough signal that we can resume our usual broadcast of fortune telling and Neville Goddard readings this evening. Now, as usual, if you would like your fortune told, please just comment gender, zodiac sign, and if you would like a career reading, general future, or romance. Now, getting right into the thick of it, we will start with my own fortune and then we will read a bit of Neville Goddard's Freedom for All. If anybody else would like their fortune told in the meantime, I will conclude tonight's broadcast with your fortune told from that. So, starting off, we will shuffle the cards and get into the general future reading. First 5 cards. It's good to be back. I actually missed doing this. I was kind of bummed out that I couldn't do this. I think it was Sunday I wanted to do it, but the internet just wouldn't connect. So at least the internet is working. That it says I'm live tonight, so I'm happy about that. I also got a ton of people messaging me right now, but I have to make myself the priority and wait until the broadcast to respond to them. That's just life. Anyways, here we go. Oh, great Clow cards of Kurorido, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, reveal to me what message from infinite intelligence you intend for me to realize tonight within these cards. Peace. Wow, this is a very interesting card. Okay, so for the general future, the first card we drew was the change card, followed by the sweet. Then we have the freeze card, the fight, and the heart card, or the love card, however you choose to view it. So the combination of these cards together gives me off the energy that changes are about to happen, major changes. That I'm not even going to be the same person I was, that I have been gradually changing more and more and becoming closer to the person that I intended myself to be, moving towards the realization of my manifestations, my goals, my desires, my dreams, my wishes, whatever you want to call it. The great changes are occurring. Now, the sweeter side of things is beginning to emerge itself. The freeze card, especially with these cards prior to freeze, the change in the sweet, it means that things are starting to actually get sweeter. Things are changing. And even though things seem like they were kind of frozen in a stalemate, like a stagnant state, they're actually starting to shift more in sweeter changes in my favor. Now, the fight indicates that this is the time to persist. Now, it doesn't mean struggle against the nature of things, but more so the fight is telling me, like, no matter how many times I might have been close to giving up or felt like I was kicked down, that's why I have to keep working towards this. And that in itself, by persisting and having faith, is really fighting for the goals, the dreams, and the desires. Now, the love card, the heart card, indicates that by the end of this, I'm actually getting really close to what would be the ideal partner for me. It could be perhaps the woman I love most, or somebody similar, something that regards like the main intention of my heart is approaching. That's what this symbolizes. I would like a bit more clarity, so we will draw the next 5 cards and hope that the universe sheds light more on details regarding this message. But so far, so good. So we will see what else the Clow cards have in store tonight. All right. Oh, great Clow cards of Kurorido, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, reveal to me more clarity regarding these first five cards in the direction of my general future. There it is. The create, fun, the rain, the time, and the dash. All right. So first we have the create, we have the fly, the rain, the time, and the dash. Now, what I'm getting from this too, because this is all general future, so this could relate to in the general focus of career goals, money goals, personal goals, goals with romance. It could all tie in together in sort of this like interwoven pool of just what the general future has in store. Now, the create card, especially in this setting, given that the last card that I drew prior to this was the love card or the heart card, it's saying that I am in the process of creating something not only that I love, but it could also be something that helps me move towards what I love. So that's kind of the chain reaction I'm picking up by drawing the create card next. The fly card indicates travel plans, possibly, but it could also be talking about rising to new levels of consciousness, new awareness, basically going above and beyond where I've never gone before. Things are really picking up and lifting off and taking flight, and they're going farther than I ever could have once imagined them to go. The rain card to come up in this setting too, especially for it to end up right beneath the freeze card. It's almost like if things were frozen, it's starting to melt, and now what was frozen is melting and pouring down in an abundance of rain. So that's actually a good thing in this case to draw that in the midst of these cards. The time is indicating that the time is approaching for many things. And the dash card, being the final card that I drew right after that, is indicating as well that the time is coming rather fast. It's like things are going to happen really fast, one after another. Sort of like if you think about it like in a pinball machine when you're playing pinball, the way it goes. Once you hit that one right part, though, it kind of sticks among all the good high points markers and kind of bounces off them really quickly, like just dashes back and forth. And that's what I'm sort of picking up on the energy of these particular 10 cards of at this time. Like once I strike the gold mine, it's going to be really fast for a lot of things coming into focus and clarity. So next we will do um we'll do romance then career. So first we have, actually I'll redo it. Kind of threw me off. Anyways, oh great Clow cards of Kurorido, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars, reveal to me what message you have regarding romance. There is the light, the thunder, the little, the shadow, the mist. So with the light, the thunder, the little, the shadow, and the mist, these are all very good indications. Okay, so the light coming up is interesting because the shadow is here, and without light, you can't have shadows. Like without light, you can't have something to cast a shadow, which is very interesting. Now, the combination of all these cards, the message I would gather is light is telling me that, like, it's almost like on the journey, they say, like, reaching the light at the end of the tunnel. It's almost like that's the energy and the vibe I pick up on in this case. The thunder indicates that, like, it's something I might not see, but it's something I could hear and be aware of and know that it's there. The little indicates in this journey too that it's just a little farther away. And the shadow is indicating that although I might not see it fully in depth of what is there, the light will begin to cast the shadow of what is there towards my direction. Now, the mist is indicating that obstacles are fading and sort of like real clarity regarding my romantic love life is about to be revealed, and sort of uncovering the truth and the mysticism hidden within the mist. I apologize for the train. They always love to show up right when I do this. I don't know why. They're just kind of annoying like that, but nothing I can do. Apologize for any loud noise it makes, but seems like it was just one of those train track cleaners, so it should be gone relatively soon. All right, now we will do career. Oh, great Clow cards of Kurorido, using the power of the sun, the moon, and the stars. Reveal to me what message you have regarding my career. There it is. Snow, the shield, the voice, the windy, and the fiery. All right, so the snow indicates that really good things are about to happen. I apologize. It seems like every train cleaner decides to roll down the tracks right now when I'm doing this, and they're all small. They go by quick enough, but they make a lot of noise, and it seems like there's just one after the other. That's three I've seen now. But yeah, as I was saying before, it threw me off my train of thought. With the snow card appearing, the snow indicates that, especially with winter approaching, that there's going to be something very magical about the snow coming. And also, I can feel that it's indicating like a change of seasons, that it's imperative to not disturb the natural process. That's the energy I'm picking up on with that. The fact that the shield shows up indicates that, like, by focusing on the career, it's more protective with a lot of the things going on in my life now than I realized. That actually is one of the things the most focused towards, because it will protect me from perhaps maybe what would appear to be disappointing outcomes with other things I'm aiming towards. The voice card indicates, well, especially being a recording artist, I use my voice, and that is essential. And the fact that the voice is popping up here indicates that I am on the right path. That really does confirm it to me, because it seems like the voice or the song card always seems to pop up when I do a career reading, which is very interesting because I've noticed too the create card has come up many times in career readings for myself, which is interesting because it is indicating that the strength of my abilities, my intelligence, and my power lies in my voice. It lies in my ability to make songs and to create, which is very good. The windy indicates that this is actually going to be sort of like a powerful motion moving forward, that things are actually heading exactly towards the way I would want them to. And it's almost like it's blowing not only obstacles out of the way, but it's almost like the wind is carrying me to my desired destination. The fiery indicates that this is windy, by the way, and the fiery. The fiery indicates that there's a lot of passion, that this is a very heated and intense time for not only the success of my career, but the vision of it overall. And focusing towards it is now more imperative than ever because things are really going to start to get exciting, heat up, and have a lot of passion. So, overall, these are all very good readings. I hadn't done it in a while, so it was exciting just to check with the cards and see what messages they have for me. I love when they guide me, they always kind of inspire me and give me motivational hope to push forward. Now, we will read from Neville Goddard's book, Freedom for All, and we will read the short second chapter of the book, The Name of God, before we conclude if nobody else would like their fortune told, obviously. So, Chapter 2, Freedom for All, The Name of God. It cannot be stated too often that consciousness is the one and only reality, for this is the truth that sets man free. This is the foundation upon which the whole structure of biblical literature rests. The stories of the Bible are all mystical revelations written in an Eastern symbolism which reveals to the intuitive the secret of creation and the formula of escape. The Bible and man's attempt to express in words the cause and manner of creation. Man discovered that his consciousness was the cause or creator of this world, so he proceeded to tell the story of creation in a series of symbolical stories known to us today as the Bible. To understand this greatest of books, you need little intelligence and much intuition. Intelligence enough to enable you to read the book, and intuition enough to interpret and understand what you read. You may ask, why was the Bible written symbolically? Why was it not written in a clear, simple style so that all who read it might understand it? To these questions I reply that all men speak symbolically to that part of the world which differs from their own. The language of the West is clear to us as the West, but it is symbolic to the East and vice versa. An example of this can be found in the Easterner's instruction, if thine hand offend thee, cut it off. He speaks of the hand, not as the hand of the body, but as any form of expression, and thereby he warns you to turn from that expression in your world which is offensive to you. At the same time, the man of the West would unintentionally mislead the man of the East by saying this bank is on the rocks, for the expression on the rocks to the Westerner is equivalent to bankruptcy, while a rock to an Easterner is a symbol of faith and security. I will like him unto a wise man which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the winds blew, and beat upon the house, that it fell not, for it was founded upon a rock. To really understand the message of the Bible, you must bear in mind that it was written by the Eastern mind, and therefore cannot be taken literally by those of the West. Biologically, there is no difference between the East and the West. Love and hate are the same. Hunger and thirst are the same. Ambition and desire are the same. But the technique of expression is vastly different. The first thing you must discover, if you would unlock the secret of the Bible, is the meaning of the symbolic name of the Creator, which is known to all as Jehovah. The word Jehovah is composed of the four Hebrew letters, Jod, He, Vav, Wah. The whole secret of creation is concealed within this name. The first letter, Jod, represents the absolute state or consciousness, unconditioned, the sense of undefined awareness, that all-inclusiveness out of which all creation or conditioned states of consciousness come. In the terminology of today, Jod is I am, or unconditioned consciousness. The second, He, represents the only begotten Son, a desire, an imaginary state. It symbolizes an idea, a defined subjective state, or clarified mental picture. The third letter, Vav, symbolizes the act of unifying or joining the conceiver, Jod, the consciousness desiring, to the conception, He, the state desired, so that the conceiver and the conception become one, fixing a mental state consciously, defining yourself as the state desired, impressing upon yourself the fact that you are now that which you imagined or conceived as your objective, is the function of vow. It nails or joins the consciousness desiring to the thing desired. The cementing or joining process is accomplished subjectively by feeling the reality of that which is not yet objectified. The fourth letter, He, represents the objectifying of this subjective agreement. The Jod He vow makes man and the manifested world, He, in the image or likeness of itself, the subjective conscious state. So the function of the final He is to objectively bear witness to the subjective state, Jod He vow. Conditioned consciousness continually objectifies itself on the screen of space. The world is the image and likeness of the subjective conscious state which created it. The visible world of itself can do nothing. It only bears record of its creator, the subjective state. It is the visible Son, He, bearing witness of the invisible Father, Son, and Mother, Jod He vow, a holy trinity which can only be seen when made visible as man or manifestation. Your unconditioned consciousness, Jod, is your I am, which visualizes or imagines a desirable state, He, and then becomes conscious of being that state imagined by feeling and believing itself to be the imagined state. The conscious union between you who desire and that which you desire to be is made possible through the vow, or your capacity to feel and believe. Believing is simply living in the feeling of actually being the state imagined. By assuming the consciousness of being the state desired, the subjective state symbolized as Jod He vow then objectifies itself as He, thereby completing the mystery of the Creator's name and nature, Jod He vow He, Jehovah. Jod is to be aware. He is to be aware of something. Vow is to be aware as, or to be aware of being that which you were only aware of. The second He is your visible objectified world, which is made in the image and likeness of Jod He vow, or that which you are aware of being. And God said, let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Let us, Jod He vow, make the objective manifestation, He, in our image and the image of the subjective state. The world is the objectified likeness of the subjective conscious state in which consciousness abides. This understanding that consciousness is the one and only reality is the foundation of the Bible. The stories of the Bible are attempts to reveal in symbolic language the secret of creation, as well as to show man the one formula to escape from all of his own creations. This is the true meaning of the name of Jehovah, the name by which all things are made, and without which there is nothing made that is made. First you are aware, then you become aware of something. Then you become aware as that which you were aware of. Then you behold objectively that which you are aware of being. End of chapter. So there you have it. Very insightful. In fact, I've read that actually. That would be my third time reading that chapter in particular now. But I felt like, I don't know, I noticed things that I never noticed when I read it previously, which is why it's good if you can find books that have sort of insight on the philosophy of life to study them over and over again. You pick up on different things you didn't notice before. So that's why I love studying with Neville Goddard. Like, I can honestly say his way of teaching speaks to me the most. I also really like listening to Abraham Hicks. I learned things from Bob Proctor, this one manifesting coach, Mary Kate, a bunch of other people. I learned things from a lot of different teachers, but I could honestly say I always end up going back to good old Neville Goddard because, I mean, that's why I ended up buying his book because I don't know, like I would listen to his lectures many times. I still continue to listen to his lectures all the time. I mean, I haven't in a few days now, but I'm probably going to re-listen to one tonight before I go to bed. But I notice when I listen to his lectures and I read his books, there's just something within me that like it grabs my spirit and it kind of says, this is the answer. This is what you're meant to learn. And I find that his approach of teaching speaks to me. Maybe it's because I grew up always like studying different religions and always trying to figure out what the real truth of spirituality is in this universe. That with him, I just really connect with like presenting it all on a spiritual level. It kind of takes the pressure off too. Some of those other people who respond more from a physical plane or a mental plane kind of scare the hell out of me, which is another reason why I relate more to Abraham Hicks. Now, since there's nobody else who has joined tonight's presentation and requested a reading, I will summarize this broadcast just by saying a bit of information regarding the new album I'm working on, which, if anybody is interested, I do thank you all for supporting, of course, my new album first single, Boku mo Aishiteru yo, which thanks to everybody, we have now reached 3,400 views and we're still climbing. Let's keep that going. Next stop, 4,000. You know what I mean? And I actually have recorded another song that I sang in Japanese for this record. I have a few rough mixes that I'm probably going to start mastering at the end of this month. And once I get that song back from the producer, mixed and mastered, we should be closer to having about 6 tracks for the album done. And then with the one for next month, that will actually be like the halfway point of the record. So it's going to be very good. I'm very excited to make this record and especially to break out and bridge into new territory. I mean, to actually be singing a lot of these songs in Japanese, it's fun, it's challenging, it's exciting. I really love Japanese music, so it's really staying true to myself still. And then it's also like I can honestly say it's been inspiring and encouraging even for myself because as I've begun recording these songs, writing them, singing them, I kind of feel empowered and inspired by it all because I sit there and I think, wow, I'm such a good songwriter, even writing songs in Japanese, which isn't my first language. I'm really getting good at it. In fact, even the producer, when I brought him a new song and I sing it in Japanese, he doesn't know what I'm saying, but he agrees. He's like, the song is really well written. It's catchy. Like, it's really good. And everybody seems to react very well to the song I made for Hitomi Shimatani, Boku mo Aishiteru yo. I've gotten a lot of praise from Japanese friends and fans alike. Even she was very surprised that I made her a song. So, and that just kind of goes to show that I'm really picking up a knack for it. And that's the whole point. You never want to keep doing the same things over and over again as an artist, no matter how successful they are. You always want to strive to try something new and different, to keep experimenting and go farther than you have before. So with this new album, it's very exciting because I've always loved Japanese music, but this is the first time that I'm really stepping out into deep water and really actually making songs that are primarily pure Japanese pop. They might have some hip hop or jazz elements, even some rock to them, but the fact that I'm singing in Japanese lyrics, the core of it is Japanese pop. Now, there also will be plenty of songs on this record, probably about half, that will still have at the core hip hop themes. And some of the instrumentals, even though they're Japanese pop based, have a hip hop vibe to the drums and the sound. But I think this is really going to be like the next exciting elevation of where to take the music as Super Kami Guru Alucard. So as always, I will condition my plea, keep supporting the records. Thanks to everybody who buys the music, who streams, who gives it views, likes, shares, subscribes, and passes it on to everybody. I mean, without everybody else's support, I wouldn't keep doing it. I mean, I probably would keep doing it because I love doing it and it's what I'm best at doing. But it makes it that much more worthwhile when you know that people really can respect and appreciate your talent and see like your true potential when it comes to making this music, and to experiment and strive to always be the best artist I can be, as well as the most unique and prolific artist I can be, which is why I've recorded so much music in such a short time, only 3 years, and I've recorded more music than some hip hop artists recorded an entire career, which is really saying something. Anyways, thanks to everybody who does tune into this broadcast. If you miss it and you would like your fortune told next week when we do this show again, just comment gender, zodiac sign, and if you would like career, romance, or general future, and I will be sure to give you a reading right away. And of course, definitely check out all the music, such as my albums on the channel, the music videos, also on Spotify, iTunes, excuse me, and Apple Music. All the streaming sites has it all, so definitely check them out. And if you'd like to help fund the new adventure with making this album, because it does cost money, might take me a little longer to get it done by myself, but with other people's help, could help it, become a faster process. So I would appreciate it if anybody is willing. If not, it's all good. I'll get it done. It doesn't really matter. But, always appreciate any extra support. So till next time, Super Kami Guru Alucard. Peace out. Oyasumi nasai minasan. Domo arigatou gozaimasu. Mate ne.